What's going on, everybody? Yep, we're all good. How's it going, y'all?
Nice crowd today.
This is awesome.
Those watching online.
This is our first show that we've done since the Club World Cup ended. The Club World Cup was busy. We got to see some amazing teams here in the Benz, but now we get to talk about Atlanta United again. And that
not so amazing.
Might not be the best thing right now. I see there's a few Charlotte fans in here. Y'all are having a much better season than Atlanta is. But
Yes.
Really quick, if you have found yourself in here, you have no idea who we are. We are the Scarves and Spikes podcast website. We cover Atlanta United. We cover Major League Soccer. We cover soccer in and around Atlanta and Georgia and the Southeast. So welcome. And real quick shout out to the Nest on 4 Bar for hosting us over and over again. It is awesome. And we truly, truly appreciate it.
I'm going to have us kind of squeeze together a little bit more for our friends watching at home. Yeah, there we go. I think we're all in frame. Yes.
We're all good.
Henry is at least. Henry, you look nice, by the way. You just
thanks.
came from a wedding, I hear.
Yeah, I just came from my friend's wedding. Shout out to Aaron, who just got married today.
Congratulations.
Yeah, really happy moment. And now we're here for, something that we hope is also a happy moment.
We'll see. So just to lay it out, Atlanta and Charlotte have already played once this season.
Yes.
And it was very early on, and Charlotte came away the winners in that one with a 2-0 win. And it was kind of rough for Atlanta. And honestly, since then, it's not gotten much better. Interestingly, before that, the past 2 seasons, this is one of my favorite stats I always pull up in this derby. In 2023 and 2024, the away team is the one that won the fixture. 2 years in a row. So Atlanta won twice in Charlotte. Charlotte won twice in Atlanta. And, of course, our good friend Charlotte had to go and ruin that streak earlier this season. But here we are.
Got to even the score, right?
There you go. I saw you guys talking about it the other day. Must win against a derby opponent. I mean, if you lose this match, your path to the playoffs is pretty much shot. You have, of course, Seattle coming in next week. You have several away matches. You have the Leafs Cup break, but I mean, all bets are off on this night. You got a substantial amount of Charlotte fans coming. I think, Henry, you're telling me 5 busfuls of Charlotte fans coming up here, coming down here from I-85 to Atlanta to watch the game. So, again, it's a derby. It's a rivalry. If you can't get up for a derby, then if you're a Atlanta United player, you don't have a pulse, really.
Yeah, it's your own stadium. The talk has been make Mercedes-Benz Stadium a fortress, and now they have to do it against a big Southeastern rival. And this game, it has that implication, right, that you need to win or else playoffs are going to be far-fetched.
Yep.
You think about where Atlanta and Charlotte are in the table. Both are teams that are trying to get into the playoffs.
Someone is contesting our. Trying to figure out a name for the derby. Well,
that works.
Urban Sprawl Derby, according to our friend from Charlotte here. Are you from Charlotte? Born and raised, or basically? Exactly.
That's true.
I lived there for 5 years,
enough.
so but I feel like a native. But
is this your first time down here at the Benz? Really? You'll enjoy it.
Nice.
Yes. Look, Atlanta and Charlotte fans agreeing on something.
Right.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks for coming. Yeah.
Again, must win for Atlanta.
Yeah. I'm trying to make this.
I thought I was going to banter with
the Crown and Coke Derby.
Is
what I truly think this should be called. Crown and Coke just makes sense. You got the Crown City. You got Coke here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody else has come up with a better name yet, so I'm going with it.
I'll go with it too.
I'm surprised that no one has come up with a better name for this. Like, I feel like there should be something that these two fan bases can agree on as like, okay, this is what we're gonna call this. Yeah. I think we were floating the Royal Rumble because Kings of the South, Queen City, whatever. But there's a lot of different names. They got to come up with one though, and I think it'll really get attention is when both clubs are in a state where they're at the peak of their powers, like really vying for a top position. I think that's when it'll get more national coverage, and then at that point, it'll probably be easier to get a nickname for it per se.
I don't think we've ever had that. Both teams good at the same time, to be honest with you. Certainly not this year.
No, it's always seemed very one-sided. And, in this derby, as we've been saying, you haven't had a draw in the past 7. So I know what I said, which was a 2-2 draw, but I'm really betting against the odds to try to make that happen tonight. I don't know.
Hang on a minute. Is that a Santa Fe jersey? Now get out of here. Out. Fuera.
Hostile territory. Who drinks are here?
Tyler has his drinks. I have my drink. I have my Coke Zero. Somewhere around here.
Okay, no me molesta.
But what's your drink of choice today, Tyler?
So I actually got a rum and Coke. I was simple.
Rum and Coke.
Young Henry here got something called a kickoff.
A kickoff,
which we're about 2 hours away from at the moment. But I guess what stands out to you in this particular derby? I mean, a lot has changed for both of these teams.
Yeah.
Charlotte started off very strong and kind of dropped. They kind of fallen off a little bit, but they're still right there on the playoff line. Atlanta, $50 million worth of attackers and sitting almost at the bottom of the table.
Yeah.
What stands out to you?
I think the main thing that stands out, I think for Charlotte, obviously the big story is Patrick Alderman being sold to Darby County. They're going to look for some production from other players, like your he's such a big part of their lineup. So now you have Liabada on the roster. You have certainly Zaha on the roster.
Yeah.
One name that was brought up to me from Jorge from Top Bin 90, who covers Charlotte FC and really soccer around the Charlotte area, is Idan Toklamati. And he's been certainly a big part of their attack as well. And Jorge has told me, what he told me in our Q&A that we did for the website, he could have a ceiling probably higher than Ajamon. Are you okay?
So I
can smell the alcohol when I hand it to you.
They asked me if I wanted to drink, and of course, going into this game to watch this soccer, I had to say yes. So I didn't want to order the same thing I always order.
Yeah.
I wanted to try something different. So I looked on the menu, and I was trying to find something that was soccer themed, because we are going to a soccer game, right? But everything is like Falcons themed.
Right.
And so I was so bummed. I was like, what can I get here that's soccer themed? And then I saw this. It's called the Kickoff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Would you try it again, or?
I mean, if I'm gonna come watch these guys, I might need it. So,
Henry's lit.
it's good. It's actually pretty good. It's got good flavor.
Drink responsibly. But no, the thing about Charlotte, obviously, you're dealing with Aljaman being sold again to Darby County. Clementi was a player that I mentioned. Was a player I was trying to think of. I kind of forgot his name earlier. Zaha. I feel like Zaha they've expected a lot more of, but they haven't gotten it as of yet. And yeah, that's not to say he's been a bust by any stretch of the imagination, but he's not really played to the level that he's capable of. And he's got involved in a little drama on Snapchat, which I know you're more. I don't know if you're a Snapchatter. I don't know if you're a Snapchatter,
Not
Tyler.
really.
Nah.
Me neither. But yeah, he posted Snapchat, kind of got some people talking in Charlotte. But I mean, he's not really, like I said, been up to, I guess, the standard that Charlotte fans have been looking for. And yeah, he scored against Atlanta the last time out. We'll see what happens tonight.
I mean, he's sitting on 5 goals and 3 assists, which, you know, we talk about designated player numbers and what they should be putting up. Atlanta has 3 right now that are not putting up designated player numbers. 5 and 3, that's not awful. But you look at some of the other players in the league, and some of them aren't DPs that are putting up, you know, double, almost triple that. And it's just one of those things where I think Atlanta and Charlotte have both struggled to get whoever their DPs are involved in the best way possible this year.
Yeah, and here's the thing, right? Charlotte, they didn't, like Patrick Ajiman was one of their better players, and he wasn't a DP. And now they still have a DP slot open that they can use to reinforce their roster.
Yep.
But for the most part, I mean, look at players like Pep BL, who isn't even a designated player right now. He is producing at an insane level.
Most chances created, most big chances created.
And that's helped them a lot. That's been significant for them. Who else? I mean, we're looking at just a roster that feels more complete than Atlanta's in a sense, because it feels like they have folks all over the field that can perform at a high level. And my main question mark right now is, well, who's their starting striker, right?
Right.
Because without Patrick Adjumong, that spot is wide open.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm interested to see how they line up today, how those battles look on the field, and really what Atlanta does to respond to them, because they know from last time out playing Charlotte, how they beat them. It was balls over the top. It was really quick transition moments, sending the ball in behind the chase, right? And the center backs you had there, I mean, I think it was Derek Williams and Luis Abram or something like that.
Yeah.
Derek Williams got beat in foot races very often. Yeah. I don't think Efrain Morales will get beat in a foot race like that. I think he's got a little bit more energy. I think he'll be a little bit more alert in that sense. I think that's some of the game footage that they have reviewed.
Right.
So that doesn't happen again. But either way, it's interesting to see how they're going to set up to counter what Charlotte brings.
I'll just say real quick. So you mentioned Pep Biel. He had a brace against DC United the other night, Wednesday night, which, I mean, it's DC United, so they're
scored against DC United, Sydney.
That's true. Good point. But they're still bad too. Atlanta's worse. But you mentioned who made strikers. So on Wednesday night, Inan Toklamati was their starting striker. He had Zaha on the left, Awada on the right, and then Pep Biel in the middle there for them. So
what's that striker's name again?
Toklamati.
That sounds like it comes from like Lord of the Rings.
I believe he's from Israel.
Really?
He's from Israel.
Oh.
So
countryman of Leo Lavada.
Yeah, exactly. So he he's been with the team since September of last year. Signed for Crown Legacy originally, but he's come up with the first team. Sort of similar to the path you mentioned, Adjumong. Sort of similar to the path that he took, and now obviously he's in Europe. But I imagine it might be a similar lineup than we saw on Wednesday against DC United. So Toklamati, I think, is going to be a key part of what happens this evening if Charlotte FC are to leave the building with the win.
You want to give away a shot?
Sure. We have a trivia question.
We have a trivia question. Thanks to Jackson over here. So this is for anybody in the bar. If you like alcohol and you have a phone that has Google on it, this would be a time to get it out. So obviously, Atlanta, Charlotte playing next door in the Benz here in just a little bit. So we've got some Atlanta, Charlotte trivia. And the way this is going to work, again, Google is your friend. You can Google it. You can find it pretty quick.
It's not cheating.
I just need whoever we see that gives the right answer first. It'll be a shot of whatever type of liquor of your choice. All right? So with that being said, get your phones out. The question is, in the very first meeting between Atlanta United and Charlotte FC, who scored the game-winning goal?
Ooh. I think I remember.
I don't even remember that.
I think I remember. We'll see what everyone else comes up with. I'm going to look it up, actually, to see.
I'm keeping
going to look it up to see. Here. So the first ever.
Oh, in the back.
What was it? Yes,
Jake Mulroney.
Jake Mulroney. You won a shot, so you set up at the bar. Tom's going to come your way to get you all the particulars of how you can claim your shot. There he is, making his way to the back of the bar.
Play for me.
Walking over to the bar. We're going to paint the picture for you for those watching at home. By the way, Homer, thanks for watching. Jordan, thanks for watching at home on YouTube. And those on Access World, so Facebook, thanks for watching the show as well.
So Sydney.
Henry.
So our friends over here at the back of the bar, they're going to get a really good shot.
Yes.
Is Atlanta going to take good shots today? That's the question. I mean, it feels like their shot conversion has been off lately. In the last game, they put only 4 of their 10 shots on target. It feels like they have trouble, first of all, creating chances in some games. And then when they do create chances, it feels like they don't finish them.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating to watch that kind of soccer. What do you think we'll see today?
That's been pretty much what we've seen the entire season, right? Just when they do get chances, they don't take them. And more often than not, they don't get chances at all. 4 shots on target, isn't good enough. You know how many Latte Lot had on target?
0?
0. He had 1 shot, and it went all the way into the crowd.
I rejoined this conversation at the worst time.
Yeah.
When's the last time Latte Lot had a shot on target? Genuine question.
From open play, you mean?
I think there was because he obviously had the penalty. But I think there was a stat where like he didn't have a shot on target in like his last 12 games or something like that. I was like, what?
Yeah, right. You go back to the Toronto match. He had the goal that was called back for offside, which was a great goal. Yep. And then he had the opportunity a few minutes later that skipped wide like 6 inches from the goal. But besides that penalty, I don't know that he had any other shots on target.
That is, 22 million.
In that game.
Yeah.
22 million. MLS record signing. He's a striker. He can't put a shot on goal. Come on, guys. We gotta talk about this.
I know.
Because this has to change, right? This has to give you extra motivation.
Yeah.
That's the question. How much does this derby mean to him and to some of these new players, right, that have just come into the team that maybe don't know the history of this derby or what this means, right? How much do we think that can realistically motivate them?
Yeah.
I wonder, too, you go back to, as an example, like the days of Atlanta and Orlando and how wild it was for essentially 3 years. But you had a core group of guys that stayed there with both of those teams during that entire time.
Yeah.
And so as that derby kind of evolved and progressed, it got more and more chippy. It got more and more chaotic. And then you have Joseph Martinez sitting on his couch eating chicken wings when he couldn't make the game one day, laughing that Atlanta beat Orlando.
Yeah.
And it's just little things like that they come in and they make a derby. They make the quote unquote hate between fan bases and players. I don't know that any of these players see this with Atlanta and Charlotte and think this has a derby atmosphere yet.
I was thinking, we mentioned Mulroney's match winner against Charlotte a couple of years ago. I'm trying to think about if there have been any signature moments from this derby over the years. I feel like there's a late equalizer at some point, but you haven't had one moment outside of Mulroney probably that you can look at from the Atlanta United side and say, wow, that's a moment I'll remember for a while. So I just kind of thought about that when you said it, but these guys have to you have to take every match seriously, but you have to take this match seriously. Certainly, it's a regional rivalry. This is a team 3.5 hours up I-85 that is in a better position that you're in. Henry, you mentioned the other days, essentially a 6-pointer. One other thing we didn't mention is Atlanta has a match in hand with Charlotte or against Charlotte. So, excuse me. Another thing to take a look at. So you want to definitely take advantage of that match in hand and make it 3 points. And then you go into Seattle, or you go into the Saturday's match against Seattle with a little bit of momentum. But yeah, we'll see.
Absolutely. Again, have to go in with everything. This team's margin for error is insanely small. It's paper thin at this point. And the transfer window opens in a few days. You'll have your new signing in the ME High available for the next game. But realistically, that's probably not going to move the needle as much as you need it to. The initiative has to come from the players. And excuse me, almost choked on my own saliva.
Blame the kickoff.
It needs not a great sell for that. But again, initiative has to come from the players. And Ronnie Dyla has to see in his group of players who is most motivated to play these games. Because at some point, I feel like X-Dog outdoes the monetary value of some of these players.
DAWG.
Yeah.
Yeah, always the AWG. Who has the most X-Dog on Atlanta right now?
Right now?
And if you don't say Will Riley, you're wrong.
I was between Will Riley and Luke Brennan.
That's fair.
But
I mean, to be fair,
I'll say Will Riley because he plays a little bit more and he just scored. So
I feel like Morales has a little bit of X-Dog in him too. I mean, you saw his tackle against Benteke the other
just any homegrowns, really.
Yeah, you think about it. Insert young kid here. Insert homegrown /twos player here. And I mean, you even look at, we always say the kids, but go look at Cayman Togashi when he came on. This man's 31, I believe. And the energy that he brought coming on as a sub was, I mean, I think you look at what Latte Loft gives you, even Jamal Tiara gives you. And then you see this guy, Cayman Togashi, who's been killing it with the twos.
Yeah.
And we cover the twos. We have articles going on all the time. But, I don't think most people that follow just the first team, Atlanta United, know much about him. He comes on and he's all over the place. And it's so fun to see.
Right.
But it's any of those guys, any of those twos players, any of those, young kids that are coming through, they want to play inside this stadium.
Yep.
They want to have that moment. And so when they get here and they get the call, they come out ready to go. And sometimes it's just like, hey, this season is so close to being a wash. It's not there yet, but it's very close. Just play them at this point. Just give them the time.
And talking about X-Dog, we kind of joke around about that, but Gray in the chat saying the kids and Sleesh lead the team in X-Dog. Certainly Bartek is a player that has that competitiveness in him. I really enjoy that. He set up that first goal. He makes the tackle on Tinkernagle, makes the upfield run. He could have passed the Sala right in front of him on the left-hand side. That's how he cuts inside, takes the space in front of him. Once that pocket space opens up. And credit to Almiron, too, for making that inward run.
Yeah.
Having the intelligence to make that run. Maybe he had a much better second half on Wednesday than he did in the first half. Not to say it was terrible, but so improved second half. But
he got more involved.
Yeah, he got more involved. But just a smart play. Just a lot of moments in that where you look at the season and say, where has this been the entire year? And kind of transitioning to Almiron, can he display that creativity, that intelligence all throughout the 90 minutes? I think, like I said, he showed it in the second half on Wednesday. You can see him making the tucking in from the right-hand side, try to get involved, try to get chances from there. I wonder if we see more of that tonight.
Guys, I feel like we can't talk about X-Dog without talking about Captain Miguel Almiron, the new captain for Atlanta United as of the Toronto game. And now I guess he's going to continue. I asked Ronnie Dyla about it at training yesterday, and he said that, yes, he prefers having a captain that is on the field that can be closer to the referee and to the players and can help organize them from there.
Yeah.
And so
why didn't you do that before?
It's such a novel concept.
I don't know. It took Brad taking a knee to the face for that change to happen.
Literally fracturing his face hole.
Can y'all imagine if that's the one, the turning point for the season was Brad taking a knee to the face from his own teammate and having to wear a mask, but passing the armband to Miguel Almiron?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? Miguel Almiron, we know he loves Atlanta. He says it all the time. He loves the city. He's grateful to it for everything that's given to him. He absolutely loves being here, and he felt honored. I talked after the game on Wednesday. He felt honored to be this team's captain, and he wants to give the fans more. He knows that this has been a tough season. He knows that it hasn't been up to expectations, but he wants to repay the fans all the love that they have given him over the years, and you could tell, right? Well, since he got that armband, he's been on another level to me. Yeah. He's been more active in play. He's stayed on the wing because he's been deployed on the wing, but he's stayed on the wing, and occasionally he's been able to impact the game from there. I just feel like this is a different Miguel Almiron than the one that we had seen earlier this season.
And quickly, Tyler, I'll just add this. You can tell he cares. He understands the culture. We've said it so many times. Culture of Atlanta United. If you talk about you want that culture to come back for 2017 and 2018, go to a guy who was here in 2017 and 2018. I mean, he's only one of two players on this roster among consistent first-team contributors who have been on this team when they won MLS Cup with this team in 2017. So definitely a lot of credence to him wearing the armband. But again, I wonder why you don't have him wear the armband already. I know that Brad's been the captain since Parkhurst retired, but just interesting move. Interesting.
So last game, that's an interesting stat, and I have to ask about this. But the last game that Brad Guzan played and was not the captain, November 8th, 2020. Last game of that season, game of that COVID year, captain at that time was Jeff Lorenowitz.
Yeah.
Which is fair. I mean, if you're going to give it to anybody else during that kind of interim period, Parky onward, Jeff, Larry, the guy. I'll say this about Miggy with the armband as well. Are you okay? Not to call attention to you. I want to make sure you're all right. All right. Not trying to. It's okay if she wins a car. I'm not judging you at all. Party foul, you know. We'll give you the captain's armband. But no, so Miggy with the captain's armband, I think, with MLS analyst Casey White on with us the other night, and she put it in a very interesting way and said that, sometimes players respond differently to being a captain, and some, they take that and it just gives them that extra motivation that you see on the pitch. And then others, they almost shy away from it. They're just not that natural born leader. They just want to go do their job. And I think Miggy, and hindsight being 2020, I think you could go back and figure this out. But Miggy is that type of guy who one thing he was brought here for, from Garth and Chris Henderson's own mouth, was his work ethic and his ability to come in and essentially make everybody else keep up with him, or you're just going to get left behind. So then you give him the captain's armband, and it's just that extra motivation.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen it show on the pitch that he's taken that responsibility very, very seriously.
Yeah.
So the idea is that he was a signing that worked in, it was multifaceted, if you think about it, right? It was nostalgia, obviously.
Right.
Bring the fans back, tell them, oh, yeah, we're back. That's one aspect. He's a quality player. Not quite the quality we expected, right?
Yeah.
Hasn't really delivered to that extent yet, but still has time to do so. But also the culture signing, right? We talk about culture a lot. It's an issue with this team. It's been a theme over the past several seasons.
Yeah.
And this is probably one of the first steps that you can take to improving that culture. Getting a player that cares about the team. A player that, was here before, laid down every drop of blood, sweat, and tears for this club.
Literally.
And is prepared to do it again. And so, honestly, I don't mind that in him.
Yep.
I still think you're probably paying him a little too much. I mean, you're paying him $7 million in salary, and you paid $12 million for his transfer fee. But yeah, that is it's an interesting signing the way that it works. By the way, I have to bring attention to the bunch of Charlotte fans
I was watching that.
that I see marching over there.
Like a throng of Charlotte fans are streaming into this stadium right now.
The bus is just unloaded over there.
Any Charlotte fans that we have in here, fair play to y'all.
Yes.
Hope y'all enjoy the game. If y'all have not been here before, this is an awesome stadium. I hope y'all have a great time. Except I hope y'all don't win.
Yeah, exactly. I hope you don't win, but the stadium is 8 buses.
8?
Yeah.
I only saw 5. 8?
8 buses.
Good for y'all. I mean, genuinely, from a soccer perspective.
Yeah, you see them all over there, gathering over there.
I love the fact that you have away fans showing up like that. I mean, to me, that's what makes a derby. And, last year, very loud. The year before, very loud. I mean, look, it pains my heart slightly to give anything to Charlotte fans, but I think it's great that y'all showed out the way you did. I really, that amazes me. It makes me happy. And for this league to continue to grow and be taken seriously, it's days like this that need this kind of thing.
Yeah, derbies are good for the league. El Tráfico, which is tonight, right? I believe.
It is tonight.
So, yeah.
How was Real, FC Cincinnati, Columbus Crew last week?
And what a game that was.
Yeah. More so for the Crew than for Cincinnati in that one.
Started off good.
Started off good for Cincinnati. But rivalries like that, I would say rivalries even among the original MLS teams, especially in the Northeast. Maybe your Rebels, DC United. Certainly any teams in the Northeast getting involved, playing each other. Copa Tejas, the Texas teams going at it. But derbies make this league what it is. And you see it in the Premier League. You see it Bundesliga, La Liga, everywhere.
But I think,
it just
I think when we talk about, sorry, Sydney, but I think when we talk about derbies in Europe and derbies here, it's a little different.
No,
because,
for sure.
well, and it's not a knock on fan bases here. I think fan bases here are excellent. But there's a problem when the distances are so big. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hilarious that there was this one post on Twitter, I remember, I think from the Borussia Dortmund account, saying, like, you could drive 6 hours and still be in Germany. And then there's this one guy, I think, on Twitter, is like, you could drive 6 hours and still be in Massachusetts.
It's true.
The scale is different. And the fact that we can still get away crowds to soccer games in the U.S. is impressive, especially when y'all have to drive, 200, 300 miles just to get to those away games. That is impressive to me. And that, I think it shows how much people actually genuinely love soccer in this country.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you look at like Atlanta as the point of reference. Nashville, from where we sit right now, Nashville's about 3.5 hours away without traffic. Charlotte, about 3 hours, right, roughly. Orlando is about 6.5.
6, 7.
Miami, that's close to 10. I mean, and those are your closest ones. So it's not like a North London derby, where you can spit on the other stadium from the one you're in.
Yeah,
it's just wild to me.
Or even like Liverpool, Everton, like
exactly.
Goodson Park and Anfield. I forgot the name.
I did the math the other day when we were talking about the Club World Cup. We talked about essentially like a LAFC or LA Galaxy coming to Atlanta or vice versa. And in European terms, that would be essentially the equivalent of going from Paris to Istanbul, Turkey.
Wow.
That bypasses most of Europe.
That has to put that into perspective, right?
Exactly.
It's wild. But this country has countries in it, basically, if you think about it. That's how big it is.
And I'll add this too. It really speaks to, as we getting Jackson tapped in here for Tyler, it really speaks to
tap in, tap out.
There you go. No, but it really speaks to the just the way that soccer has grown in this region. How many years ago were people talking about, soccer will never make it? Now, I'll put my hand up and say, I didn't really think that soccer would really make it in Charlotte. Sorry to say, but they've proven me wrong.
Well, many said that about Atlanta as well.
That about Atlanta. Yeah. No, but they've proven me wrong. Certainly about Charlotte, they've proven most of the media, many of the media wrong. Atlanta, Charlotte, Nashville, tremendous southeastern support for those three clubs in SEC country, ACC country. If you're up in Charlotte, so just tremendous to see, and hopefully more of it to come. More to come.
And it's all really flourished in the past decade, if you think about it, right? Orlando started, I think it was 2016 or 2015. Then came Atlanta, 2017. Nashville, Charlotte, Miami. All these clubs just started springing over the past decade. And I think it's fantastic to see the growth of soccer in the Southeast, because it's a region that, if you really think about it, is rich in soccer talents. Produce some really good soccer players. Just for example, Walker Zimmerman and Sean Johnson, two players who have played for the national team, have been standouts in Major League Soccer for a long time now.
Shaq Moore.
But specifically Walker Zimmerman and Sean Johnson, I mentioned them because they actually went to my high school. So
Josh Wolf too.
Josh Wolf. Yeah, the whole Wolf family, basically. You have just so many players that are coming from this southeastern region that it only made sense for Major League Soccer to expand here. And it just shows you the response from the fans that soccer is important in this region. I've talked to several fans, several people in the community who have said the same thing, that for years, they had been waiting for MLS, for professional soccer to hit the city of Atlanta, to hit this region. And now they finally have that. I just, it changes the game, right? And it's great to have all these folks, all this entire region involved in the beautiful game.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the growth of lower league soccer in the region as well. Ever since Atlanta United came on board, you've got I mean, biased in Statesboro with Tormenta, but Greenville, Knoxville, Asheville. I mean, all these cities across the Southeast who are building their own soccer-specific stadiums in these communities. The reach of soccer in this region has grown so wide over the last decade. And with the World Cup coming up, I mean, it's only poised to explode even more.
You know what? I was impressed by the amount of response from European fans, or fans around the world, really, that came to Mercedes-Benz Stadium during this Club World Cup and were like, what in the world? The stadium is awesome. Never seen anything like this. And they were so impressed by this marvelous stadium that we have. And I think we're very lucky to have it. And, we cover the team. We're here almost week in, week out. And it's just, honestly, it's a blessing to have such a modern, such an awesome stadium. And, it just shows how important the game is here and how Atlanta and the Southeast is a true hotbed for soccer and the sport.
No, for sure. So Jackson, I know you just came in for Tyler, but I want to get a pulse check from you on tonight's match. Obviously, yes, you're unbeaten in the last few matches, but you're also winless in the last few matches. You kind of hit on it earlier in your match thread.
Right. Yeah. Three games. Yeah. 3 games unbeaten for Atlanta United. I was saying, it's a 3-match unbeaten run. It's a full capacity stadium, and yet the vibes are not there. Yeah. The vibes are low. It's rough to consider, especially up against a team that is your rival in Charlotte. You want to impress against them. And is Charlotte going to show you out of your own building? I sure hope not. But I'm getting the vibes, the same vibes I did last summer when Charlotte came to town back in, I think it was June. It was Gonzalo Pineda's final match as manager of Atlanta United. I'm not going to say anything.
Because we've been seeing it, right? Last game, the first Charlotte game, that was Pineda was fired. Last year, the second Charlotte game, that was Bocanegra was fired. Is something going to happen tonight?
I don't know if Charlotte's coming in.
What did Chris Henderson go onto the training field to talk to Ronnie Dyla about yesterday?
Right, let's not get tinfoil hat here.
I'm just saying.
The ultimatum, where else?
And then I combine that with kind of the desperation that I hope Atlanta United feels on their season, in this being a vital match against a team that is right on the red playoff line of wild card spots. This is a game you have to have a target. I called Charlotte a high value target in that match thread. If you can go and beat Charlotte, of all teams, you're proving to yourself that you can hit that wild card spot, that your team quality is high enough to reach that spot. I forget how many games it is that Atlanta United needs to win over their next 12 or so. It's a lot. It's a lot of games. It's a lot of games. That has to start now. I want to see desperation out there tonight from Atlanta United. We saw it in the past few games where they'll run out of the gate in the first 15 minutes or so of the game. Maybe not last game after the goal went in, but there's an urgency there that just doesn't persist. I want to see persistence. I want to see desperation for this team to get 3 points tonight. Because if you don't, you're done.
You're
honestly.
cooked.
You're cooked.
Yeah. And, you talk about urgency. I mean, we've seen it the last couple of matches toward the end, but you need that.
The very end.
You need that the entire match. Now, of course, you score on a penalty against Toronto, but fair play to Luke Brennan for winning the penalty, and then you get a late goal against on Wednesday against Chicago. So we know that urgency is there. We know that passion is there, but it just has to be 90 minutes. How many times have we said this about this team? Year after year after year, it's got to be 90 minutes. And these players just aren't letting that message is just not getting through to them. It's just very frustrating for the fans who have to sit through that week after week and see a team that doesn't really rise up to the challenge consistently. So,
Yeah, going back to the X-Dog conversation, both of those players you mentioned are homegrowns. In this series, Atlanta and Charlotte.
Hot swap number 2.
Yeah.
Substitution, hold up.
Right.
In this series, Atlanta United's wins, their previous 2 wins, I should say, have come on the backs of performances from homegrown players. You had Caleb Wiley absolutely going off a couple of years ago in Charlotte. So he had like a brace and an assist, I think.
Yeah.
It was a 3-0 win. You had last year Jay Fortune scoring the winning goal, 1-0 win in Charlotte. We have seen the homegrown step up in these last couple games. Who will it be tonight?
Right.
Is my question. And I want to see them have more opportunity as well from Ronnie Dyla. I mean, you've seen the homegrowns make game-changing plays, game-changing moments in the match have come off the back of Luke Brennan and Will Riley. Does Ronnie Dyla put more trust in his homegrowns tonight to carry this team through and hopefully give that urgency for that full 90?
Yeah, and I think there's the extra kind of added factor in there, which is you have had 3 matches in a week. And at some point, you've got to rotate. So why not start them? Why not let them come out and set the tone early?
It's interesting.
Because I think if you let
Good point.
Luke Brennan, Will Riley, some of these guys that are normally your subs, let them start and let the guys that normally start sit on the bench and kind of ruminate on that for a little bit. And then maybe, I mean, best case scenario, look, they put you in the lead and you're up.
Yeah.
Worst case, they're going to set the tone.
Right.
And then the veterans can come in and handle business from there, hopefully.
You see Saba come in against tired legs. I mean,
Exactly.
I don't mind that.
Right. No, that's definitely a good point that I didn't think about. Certainly, yeah, like you said, you fix your congestion just a little bit, but I mean, why not give it a shot? Why not try it? What's the worst that can happen? I mean, what is
the worst that can happen?
But we have seen these younger players, take their opportunities. Riley the other night, Jaden Hibbert a few weeks ago against DC or against TFC, I should say, last week. Efrain Morales, these past few matches.
He's been killing it. He's got 3 straight starts. Could be a 4th straight start for Efrain Morales.
Yeah, Jay Fortune before he got hurt. So it's that list of players Dyla has said time and time again, these are players I want to build around. But hopefully there's a lineup between him and the front office as to what that looks like. Fortune is going to the option year. Yeah, Fortune has his contract is up. He has an option next year. Morales has options in the next 3 years. Riley has an option next year. These are 3 players. I believe Hibbert has an option next year, if I'm not mistaken. These are players a handful of players that you need to make decisions on. I would love to see a few of them sign to longer-term contracts because that tells them, we believe in you. We believe in what you can do for this team. We understand, the importance of having you in the fold for this team, and we want to build around you. We want to put pieces in place, and we want to build a winner around you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna piggyback on that in 1 second, but I will say too, for the folks that are here in the bar that are listening, we have some stickers up here, a variety of random Scarves and Spikes stickers. They're completely free. If you want to come grab any, throw them on whatever you want. And there you go. That's a Mercedes-Benz Stadium sticker.
Got a jersey. It's got some older names, some familiar names that you may or may not still recognize.
Of those players play for Atlanta United?
Yeah.
Just one of those players plays for Atlanta United.
There you go.
Feel free.
Grab some stickers.
One of them was here on Wednesday.
And then I will shamelessly also say, go subscribe on YouTube, please.
Yes.
go
Smash the subscribe
button.
Ring that bell.
Yes.
Thank you.
And follow us on Patreon as well. Support us on Patreon. Patreon.com/Scarves and Spikes. Help support what we do. Helps us, do more stuff, especially with the World Cup coming here next year.
Yeah.
I mean,
we've got lots going on.
So.
It's busy and it's great. And we're super, super blessed to be able to be at a place like this and do these shows. It's fun. This is a great crowd too, which is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
To me, like this is a proper like Derby atmosphere. And I mean, we talked about the Charlotte fans streaming in, 8 buses. They said like that's awesome.
Yeah.
Going back to what you were saying with some of these young guys and these homegrowns and some of the options, like the very first day that I met Ronnie Dyla, and I know I tell this story all the time, but it impacted me. I was like super excited when he said this. The day that I met him, we all had this opportunity to do like a one-on-one, just kind of chat with him for a few minutes. And I asked him, like, what are your kind of thoughts on bringing the academy, the twos, all of them into the first team and kind of building that pipeline? And he said, I value that. And if you look back at what's happened in the past, I gave Gabriel Martinelli, which is a pretty big name over in Europe, in England, his first shot at 15 years old because I saw something in him. And you see him now giving guys, you know, I think everybody thought Noah Cobb was going to be maybe that center back that was starting, but interestingly, it's been Efrain Morales. But you see him, you see Jay Fortune getting tons of time. You see, you know, him really trusting on guys like Will Riley. And, you know, Will Riley actually played in the first fixture of this season. And that was when I think a lot of people saw him and was like, oh, this kid's got that ex-dog. He knows what he's doing.
That dog in him.
Yeah. And so I know that Ronnie Dyla has got a lot of flack, and rightfully so. Like the whole team deserves a lot of flack with the way they're playing right now. But I am very happy that he's not afraid to play the kids. I just wish now the next step for me would be let some of them start.
Yeah.
Some more of them start.
Tonight. We'll see. Who do you guys think starts tonight? I mean, let's go through our predicted start 11. Gazan, I'm sure will start.
Yeah.
I feel like do you stick with the center back pairing of Abram and Morales for another week? I mean, you do have Williams. Williams was never starting today, regardless. So
I think Ronnie Dyla has had a lot of faith in the back line that he's put out the past few matches. It's been the very consistent back line, back four of Pedro Amador, Luis Abram, Efrain Morales, and Brooks Lennon.
Yeah.
And I see they haven't been absolutely cooked in any of those games. So I think for the sake of the chemistry in that back line, you keep going with that group of players. I know Derek Williams back from injury.
Yep.
Don't know if he starts. I can see him coming in off the bench, but I think if you want to set that tone and keep that chemistry going, a team that maybe conceded a goal really early on Wednesday, but a back line that Ronnie seems to have faith in and can, try to set that tone required for a team as dangerous as Charlotte.
My only concern is the last time that you played, and Henry brought it up earlier, you had tons of balls over the top. And you look back at the way that the goals were conceded, it was essentially 2 mental errors by Derek and, at the time, Matt Edwards. Matt Edwards had a phenomenal first half in that game. And then the second half happened, and he just had one mistake where he misread a ball. It bounced over his head, and then they were off to the races. And I think my biggest concern is the way that both of your Atlanta's wingbacks have been playing in these games. I'm a little concerned at just the simple 1v1 defending against guys like Zaha. And again, we don't know necessarily the striker situation, but Charlotte still has speed. Charlotte still has threats. And you can't afford to make these simple, kind of dumb mental mistakes, and because you're going to get punished, period.
Yeah.
Midfield. Does Will Riley start?
I don't know.
He needs to, man.
I think he needs to. I think we see
reward him.
I think we see Slish back out there, and
definitely
potentially William Bob back out there. I know he had not the best game. He was average at best against.
I think he was well below average personally. Yeah. I honestly think he was the worst player on the pitch, and that may be strong words, but I don't think he played well at all.
Yeah. So there's some debate whether he plays or not. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Riley gets the start, but maybe you go
Speaking of Muyumba, I don't know if I said that, but Muyumba, worst player on the pitch. Sorry.
But, right. Like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if we see Will Riley start, but it wouldn't surprise me if you go with a more straightforward lineup, similar to what you did the other week or the other day, I should say. I don't know, maybe run Cleek out there. We haven't seen Cleek in a few matches starting, so maybe you put him out there. And a lot of this kind of his fitness and his age, but maybe we see him.
You're going to have a lot of rotation, and I think the biggest question is whether it's starting or is it going to be at the half or 60th minute or whatever.
Yeah.
Because, again, you've had 4 matches in a week and a half,
right.
I believe. So this is not going to be a game where everybody goes 70, much less 90.
So does this imply earlier substitutions?
I would hope so.
Maybe.
I would hope you start seeing a handful at the half. I think you will, but I think it all kind of it's determined by what this actual starting lineup looks like. Because, look, if you put Mateusz Klich out there at the start, he should be good to go almost the entire match, even with his age and everything else. But if you want to start off similar to how you did the other night, put out Slish, put out, I think, Will Riley. And Muyumba's one of those. If you can tell Muyumba to go in at the 60th minute and buzz around the field and be, the kind of guy that we saw back when he first got here, then that could be a game changer in the end of the match.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the forwards? I don't know if you change anything, really.
I don't think so.
Yeah. For better or for worse.
No, I mean, I think they're going to play the DPs, right? Latte Lath, Miggy, and Moranchuk, they're going to play. You're probably going to play Saba, and you're probably going to play him on the left again. Yeah. And I just don't know that I like that. I like what you said earlier, Jackson. Start Luke on the left, and then you bring in Saba late. Let him be the super sub because we've seen him be successful in that role before. And even if he's playing on the wrong side, I think he can still give you something later on in the game against tired legs than starting off the game.
Yeah, we saw last game towards the end, Ronnie Dyla throwing more strikers on the field to push for that late equalizer. Do you think there's a chance that we could see a 2-striker formation switch up?
I don't know. Maybe later in the match if you're chasing, but I don't know if you start out that way. Yeah. I really don't.
I think based on some of the comments that Dyla made at the training ground, I think he's kind of settled back into his preferred 4-2-3-1 or whatever 4-3-3. I don't know that he's going to change it, but like Sydney said, I think if you're really trying to chase something to the end of the match, then by all means put
TRA.
Yeah, TRA. We saw him in Togashi.
Yep.
Wednesday for a few
I wouldn't
minutes.
be mad at that. I hope you don't have to get to that point.
Right.
But I think it in a lot of ways actually switching to that back 3 helps open up your attack a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because it allows your strengths, which on this team has always been the attack, even when it's not maybe functioning the best. It allows them all to get forward, and then you get numbers against a team that's going to try to sit back and just hold the line until the end of the game.
Yeah.
We're almost to lineups.
Yeah.
Getting close.
A few more minutes. So I was over there. Have y'all done full predictions yet?
Not yet. But I know you and Henry gave yours the other night, but I don't know if anything's changed on your behalf.
I'm gonna stick again, keeping in mind that this derby has not ended in a draw in 7.
Ever.
I'm going to say a 2-2 draw.
4th straight.
Of course. I'm going to –
I don't know that Atlanta's going to have the chops. They haven't showed it to really have that moment of getting a go-ahead goal and keeping it.
I'm kind of feeling 1-0 Atlanta. It's not going to be a pretty goal, I don't think, but it might be a little bit of a fluky goal, maybe a fluky deflection that you're able to score on. I mean, they all count the same, and you need goals, you need wins. So I think the defense, does a much better job. I think you do a good job of keeping the ball in the back of the net, but I think you get maybe 1 goal, and you're able to seat it out for a 1-0 win against your rival.
I'm going to go the opposite direction. Like I said earlier, I want to see desperation from this team. I think that they're going to push for a win. I don't know if it happens. I said that this match will be a repeat scoreline of last summer, a 3-2 Charlotte win. I think it'll be back and forth, chaotic. Atlanta's going to be pushing. They're going to be a little bit exposed to the back. Charlotte will take advantage. But I think Atlanta does score multiple goals again, as desperate as they need to be to put that ball in the back of the net and get 3 points.
So I feel like we've pretty much covered a lot. I mean, again, we're waiting on lineups. Lineups should be out, I'll say about 4 minutes or so. And, of course, kickoff is at 7:40. So, by in about a few minutes, we should have that says we should know who's starting for Atlanta United this evening against Charlotte. I want it to be like 5 minutes later than it usually is.
One thing to touch on, which hasn't been touched on yet, is one of the core, I guess you could say, core tenets of this rivalry, this relationship between both Charlotte and Atlanta fans is Anton Walks.
Oh, yeah.
I know that it is planned to be 2 minutes, I don't know, is it a moment of silence or applause for Anton Walks at the match today?
Yeah.
Like a joint effort between both groups of fans to pay tribute to a player who was a part of Atlanta United's inaugural season. And he returned to Atlanta and then played for Charlotte in their inaugural season.
Yep.
And it's a player that meant a lot to both groups of fans, tragically passed away a few years ago now. And it's a cool way that both groups of fans continue to honor his legacy. And it's cool how something as tragic as it is can bring opposing rival fans together in such a way. I love that both sides continue to pay tribute to his memory and how much he meant to both teams, both sets of fans. And so, between the 3 minute mark or 4 minute mark, the 6 minute mark, maybe, or 3 minute to 6 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, somewhere in there. It's for his numbers with both teams, 4 and 5.
Yeah.
And so I think that'll be a very cool moment tonight. If all else on the field fails, I think we'll have a great moment in the stands with that.
No, well said. Well said. And I just echo everything you said about Anton. Obviously, gone too soon. Left behind, his partner. I think the two of them had a young child as well. So it's devastating to, still devastating to think about it. It's a rivalry, it's a derby, but some things are bigger than that. And Anton, like you said, meant a lot to both fan bases. So good on both fan bases to continue to honor his memory this evening.
Yes, talking about the moment, a couple of moments of silence. Yep. Absolutely. Have y'all mentioned who you think scores?
I have not.
All right, we have one. We have one guess here.
Uh-oh. Now she doesn't want to say it.
I'm not saying it. You're gonna say it's
now she's quiet.
It's Saba time.
There we go.
It's Saba time.
There you go. All right, so
nice.
I am obliged to choose Saba as one of my goal scorers now.
Would love to see it.
Yeah. You know what? I'll say it. Saba with a brace. We'll make it easy.
Okay. Opening his account in the big way tonight.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Got to do it at some point.
It'll be nice. We'll take you guys through the lineup. Still waiting for those lineups to come out. It should be any second now. But yeah. Referee tonight, Alan Chapman. Alan Chapman is the referee this evening. I'm looking at. I was looking at something wrong, but
okay. So we have lineups from MLSsoccer.com, which are always right? I'm not sure how to say this. Okay, so Brad Guzan in goal. That's the easy part.
Yes.
Okay. It gets weird from there. Back four, Edwards at left back.
Okay.
Derek Williams and Efrain Morales center back pairing.
That surprised me. Williams starting right off the bat. He's not going to play the 90. He's not going to play the 90. He's just not.
And then Ronald Hernandez right back.
Okay.
Midfield of Slish, Muyumba, Moranchuk.
Yep.
And then a front three of this shows Miggy on the left, Latela in the middle, and Luke Brennan on the right.
Starting.
Wow, there we go.
Luke Brennan starting. Play the kids.
This is a bit of a surprise, isn't it?
So Tyler, you were pretty much on the right track for what you said earlier.
I did my best.
I want
Brace off the bench.
No, I want Luke to have a great game. You know, we've talked about him a lot, and he's a player that has kind of been on the periphery of the lineup for Atlanta United, the first team. He's had contributions, but never has had sustained opportunities to show what he can do. This is his first MLS start. First MLS start for Luke Brennan tonight. Obviously, it's not his first start with the first team, been Open Cup and all that, but his first MLS start. So big opportunity for Luke, certainly.
Guys, are we a little bit worried that Matt Edwards is going to be going up against Wilfried Zaha again?
So first half in Charlotte. I was there. I was up in the 300s, baking in the sun. Great day, though. Beautiful day out. On the field, not so great. But in the first half, Matt Edwards had Wilfried Zaha in his pocket.
Yeah.
I
got into it.
At halftime, I was tweeting out, like, Matt Edwards is great. Charlotte let go of the chance to sign Miguel Almiron and went after Zaha, who's getting pocketed by like a 19-year-old homegrown. Came back to bite me a little bit. Charlotte fans in my mentions.
Yeah.
We don't need to revisit that.
Yeah.
But if that first half can last, that first half he had was incredible. And hopefully in a friendly environment of Mercedes-Benz Stadium, somewhere he's more familiar. And he's got the experience now.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can see a better night from Matt Edwards than we did and see more of that first half. And maybe he'll have Wilfried Zaha in the Matt Edwards penitentiary.
Right.
Sylph.
Okay.
Go ahead and cue that edit.
So Atlanta posted their lineup graphic. It is mostly the same. The only difference is that Miggy is on the right and Brennan is on the left, which makes a whole lot more sense.
Yeah.
Those are the sides that they play more. So we could potentially see what y'all were talking about earlier. Saba coming off the bench against fresh legs against tired legs, and potentially play him on the right where he is a little bit stronger, right? Are y'all
we're in the yard man too? Again.
Yeah. Now, are y'all surprised? I'm a little bit surprised, but given the rotation that we're seeing in this lineup, that Will Riley is not starting?
Not really.
Really?
You bring him in the second half, maybe 20, 30 minutes, sort of like you did on Wednesday. Sort of a super sub, so to speak.
In this lineup, the only player Will Riley would have come in for would be Tristan Muyumba.
Yeah.
Which I would 100% make that change.
Yeah.
Given how Muyumba played in the last game. It was awful.
Right. Is Ronnie Dialogue trusting the experience more with that selection?
Probably. That's my guess.
I don't know,
my
man.
guess on that.
I'm a little worried, though, because, Muyumba has to be on point today. It cannot be a repeat of Wednesday because they will play through him. Like, Charlotte has quality in the midfield, and they will absolutely demolish him if he starts fooling around like he was on Wednesday.
Yeah. I think that's it. You want to come help wrap us up, Tyler? Come on
Sure,
in.
I'll pop in with our good luck charm.
Undefeated right here.
Undefeated.
Has never seen Atlanta United lose in person.
That's right.
We'll hopefully keep that streak alive, right, baby girl?
Hopefully win.
Atlanta United. There we go. Big shout out. Thank you to the Nest on 4 Bar, as usual, for hosting us. Been awesome. The crowd, all of y'all have been awesome. If you're going over to the game, I hope you have a great time. If this is your first time here, welcome. and I hope you take it all in because it really is an amazing stadium, and that's being completely unbiased. It's super cool.
Yep.
That's all I got.
All right, folks.
Let's go.